Sponsored by the Mike Morris Law Firm, 855 Mike Wins. Jason Carr Live starts now.
Good Tuesday morning to you. About 17 minutes past 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining us here on the JCL, Jason Carr Live, also known as the 9:15ish. Police in Pennsylvania have arrested a daycare worker caught on camera shoving a young child downstairs. Video shows the 4-year-old tumbling down the stairs on Friday evening. Police say workers had just installed that camera like 30 minutes before this happened. The woman, 52-year-old Sarah Gable, looks right at the camera. She looks up at the camera after shoving the girl and realizes that she's being recorded. She has since been arrested, charged with simple assault, harassment, endangering the welfare of a child, and will also likely be charged with reckless endangerment. The 4-year-old suffered a minor knee injury and returned to the daycare on Monday. Gable was fired and arrested and is currently out on bail. If that happened to my daughter,
Yeah.
she would never set foot in that daycare ever again.
Breaking her legs?
Huh?
Breaking some legs?
No, it says here that the little girl returned to daycare.
Oh, the girl, yeah. Thought you meant
Now,
the daycare worker.
I'm presuming that she went back to the same place. I hope not, because I know I wouldn't let my... I know it was that one woman, but if
that's their hiring procedures, and they're
Thank
maybe
you.
not looking at these people.
Thank you. My daughter would never go back there, ever. The following images are graphic. 29-year-old Nat Haygood is a ski instructor in Jackson, Wyoming. He went through a patch of trees and was impaled. Maybe
Ready? Oh, God.
lose the banner.
Yeah, all right. Oh.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but that is a branch going through his lip and out of his mouth.
God. It's so hard to look at.
I don't know. I've seen worse piercings on hipsters.
Yeah, I mean, he's a ski instructor. He goes down a lot of these paths that have a lot of branches sticking out. And usually, you got the speed, you go straight through them. And he hit one that was a couple feet long. He actually had to break it off while it was still in his mouth. 15 stitches, and had a GoFundMe account to be able to pay for the procedure.
Yeah. Amazing. How about that?
How about that? Did you notice the side key I'm using here?
No.
It's from Ski Free from Windows 3.1 or whatever.
Can you go back to the picture of him with the stick through his? I mean, really.
And it's funny, in the goggles you can actually see the nurse who's taking the picture, and she looks like she's smiling.
She's smiling?
Yeah, she looks like she's getting a kick out of it. It looks like it was a good time.
What about the other one? There's another picture of him. Look at that. And that.
I guess they pumped his face just full of Novocaine or whatever, so you couldn't feel any of this after they got there, but just terrible.
Now, see, if he was a baddie in a Schwarzenegger movie, Arnie would say, "Stick around. It's time for you to branch out." George Michael, after a months-long investigation into the cause of death, he died on Christmas at age 53. A coroner has found that he died of natural causes. He had heart and liver disease, but officially, no foul play, no overdose, nothing like that. It was just natural causes at the very young age, 53.
When it first happened, I think the reports were inconclusive, but non-suspicious is what it was. So they still had to look into it further, but heart and liver disease.
That news coming to us about 30 minutes ago, I think, 40 minutes ago. Nike is rolling out a plus-sized line that the company says on its website is a perfect fit for sizes 1X to 3X. The collection is made up of tank tops, bras, a running shirt, leggings. Nike recognizes that women are stronger, bolder, and more outspoken than ever. In today's world, sport is no longer something that she does, it's who she is. The days where we have to add female before athlete are over. So going along with the rise of Ashley Graham, the plus-size model. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know who Ashley Graham is? Now you're going to have to Google her around here. Jacob, can you look up Ashley Graham?
Ashley Graham. I think I know who you're talking about. a big deal when she, came out with her to be in all these.
What do you think of Nike going after the Lane Bryant market, the plus-size market, with an aggressive branding strategy of reaching out to women who aren't stick thin, because most women aren't. The ideal body, that we've been chasing for so long. It's just unrealistic, and it's not fair to women.
No, and that ideal body has only been around maybe 60, 70 years.
Right,
Before
because
that,
voluptuous,
it was
curves,
absolutely
Sophia
different.
Loren, Raquel Welch, Marilyn Monroe. This whole twiggy, waif-thin, heroin chic thing. No, thank you. New pedestrian crossing lights in Melbourne, Australia feature women, and some are not happy about that. They're being called a politically correct gesture by policymakers that want to feel good about themselves, say the critics. Some are saying feminism at its worst. Others are calling it a waste of money.
Well, I believe that this isn't being used, taxpayer dollars aren't being used to do this. It's a lobbying group that's raised money to be able to replace these, and it's not all of them they're replacing. But then some people were actually upset about the fact that these women have to be shown wearing a dress for it to be an icon of a woman, and how that's against gender equality. And then, of course,
Mary
some
Poppins?
Of them, yeah, it does look like Mary Poppins, but a lot of them were based off of the suffragette. Who do I have? Kate Shepherd, New Zealand. I guess New Zealand was the first country to give women the right to vote. So they were celebrating that with putting these signs up, but quite interesting. You know what I like seeing are the ones that are animated, where the people are actually moving their legs and walking across.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Actually, it's funny you should mention that. If you were to go to YouTube,
Yeah.
a story I did a decade ago called Sign of the Times, it was like a little mini doc
Okay.
that, anyway, it's there on YouTube. It's got some minuscule amount of views, like 7,000 something, I think. And it's about the differences in signs across the world. The pedestrian guy, this guy, and how we ended up with pedestrian guy. I talked to the creator of the guy who designed pedestrian guy.
I'll have to look it up. Wow.
I can tell you're absolutely riveted by that. His name was Massimo Vignelli, an Italian designer, and they convened like a design conference in New York City in the early 70s, I think it was. And they decided on all those pictograms that you see at the airport,
Okay.
like escalator and coffee shop and men's room, women's room, all that
Things
stuff.
that are universal images that you don't need language to be able to
Exactly.
understand.
It was actually a fascinating story to research. I had a lot of fun doing it. So if you want to check it out, it's called Sign of the Times or Sign of the Times on YouTube. The founder of Waffle House passed away at age 97. Joe Rogers Sr. opened the first Waffle House with his neighbor, Tom Faulkner, in 1955. In a statement, Joe Rogers Jr. notes, "My father genuinely loved every customer who walked into a Waffle House, and customers immediately understood that. The customer always came first, and he made sure the customer came first for everyone who worked with him." End quote.
It's nice. We don't have Waffle Houses up here.
No, like Kid Rock, you have to go down south to find the Waffle House, kind of like Whataburger, and until recently, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
It's National Pancake Day, which is ironic that the founder of Waffle House would pass away. IHOP, Waffle House competitor IHOP, is offering a free short stack until 7 p.m. In return, the restaurant hopes you'll make a donation. They're trying to raise $3.5 million for children battling critical illnesses. So you're going to go to IHOP and get your free cakes?
Maybe.
Hot cakes?
We'll
flapjacks?
Intriguing.
I could go for some pancakes.
Hard to turn down free pancakes.
Very hard to turn down free pancakes? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
sure it's very busy, I'd assume. But if I can get in there, I'll take a free short stack of pancakes.
Baby boxes Finland has the lowest infant mortality rate in the world. Baby boxes get much of the credit. For decades, parents have been given the laminated cardboard boxes for free, providing a safe sleeping environment for the baby. Now they're starting to catch on in this country. The baby box movement?
Yeah, this has been going on in Northern Europe for a long time, where they send this box home with new mothers, and it's just got some of the essentials for the first week or so. Most people already have these things at home. They've been shopping before the babies do, but some people can't afford it, and it's a lot of times a memento thing that they take home, and then for the rest of this baby's life, they're always storing those baby's things in this box. This box means a lot to these people, and not everyone has a crib. And that's the big thing, is having a safe place for the baby to be able to sleep, because so many babies are injured sleeping with parents in the bed, which is not what you're supposed to do, from what I hear.
From what you hear. You research this heavily.
Well, every once in a while it happens far too often, but we'll hear it on the scanner, and then pretty soon we're writing a story about a parent who fell asleep with the child and rolled over while they were sleeping. So this, most everyone has a crib, but this gives people at least something safe to use.
In the comments section, how long has Jason Carr been on Channel 4? That's Reggie.
About a year?
Couple weeks? Couple weeks or so? You're a funny guy, Jake. Turtle eats coins.
915.
Had to undergo surgery because the turtle fell ill. 25-year-old tortoise. This is a Thai sea turtle. People would throw coins into his tank, his enclosure or whatever.
Yeah, his pond. Yeah,
His pond. And then he would eat the coins. And they were doing it for luck, kind of like when you go to the mall. Nobody goes to the mall anymore, but when you went to the mall, like Westland or whatever, and
coin,
they had
yeah.
3 coins and a fountain.
They say he's going to live, so that's good news.
He's going to make it.
Somehow, after eating nearly 1,000 coins.
Nearly 1,000.
Nearly 1,000. Almost 1,000.
What was his name?
His name was
Amson.
Amson. Thai for piggy bank. Oh no. That's
Can we go back to the video or the picture of the guy with the branch sticking out of his lip?
Okay, we can go back. I'm not going to look though.
Why? Are you that squeamish? Okay, so this dude was doing some extreme sports, ski instructor in Wyoming, and that happened. I mean, these pictures are tremendous.
Very good. Very well done.
Come, Jake, leave this guy alone. Oh. Take my hand, stick around.
I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Branch out. Emoji snake. Justin Kobilka spent almost a decade breeding pythons to create a python with yellow smiley emojis on its skin caused by recessive mutations. Apparently this is real.
This is a real snake. I wonder how many he's bred to be able to get that type of skin feature.
Well,
pretty neat. That is a albino piebald ball python.
Kobilka reptile. So this guy's actually, he's scaling up, is what you're telling me?
Chuck full of them today.
Purposefully bad punning is one of my favorite things. I'm in on the joke, right? Mm-hmm. Not everybody gets that. They think that you're actually... There's a level of removal there. Oh boy, he said with a wink and a smile. Wow, could be sold for $4,500.
Yeah, expensive steak. But he says he's going to keep on to this one. He's going to hold on to it because it's so unique. And I would imagine that you would then be able to use that one to continue breeding more, maybe. So I don't know enough about
Corner the
breeding
market.
snakes. Corner the snake market.
Yeah. It's a hobby many call nerdy, but it's not cheap. Let's take a look at some of the most famous movie props. Oh wait, did I skip one?
Yeah, we got the food.
How did I
got
miss
that
that?
at the bottom. I'm sorry. You're right. Well, here, take a look at this food.
Let's do. Okay, so a guy actually does this. Japanese artist Gaku practices mukimono, a Japanese art which literally means stripped product. Became a popular form of food presentation during the 16th century in Japan and spread to Thailand shortly thereafter. Gaku takes various food items, such as apples, bananas, and broccoli, and strips them down, carving the most beautiful and intricate designs into their cores and surfaces.
Some pretty neat ones here. And I love that it's so temporary, because all this stuff is going to spoil. You're not going to be able to hold on to it. But
Look at that. Wow.
wow. Yeah, it's an apple, and you took away some of the peel.
How long do you think this?
How long
Oh,
do you
here we
think it
go.
takes?
This is great. Kelly Palsinski Schramm. This is the dumbest show I have ever seen.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah,
At least we're the best at something, right?
exactly. That's
And then Doreen counters, if you don't like this show, folks, don't watch. Plain and simple. It's like the people that get out here and complain that we don't have any quote-unquote real news. It's kind of not the point of what this
what
is.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be more like light morning talk to have coffee to.
But
and
Kelly, if you are looking for real news, I've got one place you can go to find it. Well, there's two places actually. There's Channel 4 and Click on Detroit. So if that's what you're looking for, you can
if
grab
you
it
are
there.
looking for court cases and car accidents and stories about travel bans on Muslims and all the day's top news, cause of death for noted celebrity, click on Detroit.com, plus Local 4 coming up at noon on the TV. Click on's 24/7, always updating, plus we send out push alerts on social media. So there's lots of ways to get Steve Garagiola. There's a source for news right there. There it is right there. Very nice guy, too, and hell of a cook. He's got a cookbook, you know.
Yeah, he does have a cookbook.
So, again, let's, speaking of what I suppose you might call real, let's go on to Hollywood prop collecting, as promised. You recognize that from Terminator 2. Stan Winston created that.
Well, that's from Terminator 2 or Terminator 1?
Well, there was the
was
scene at the
both.
very end, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess he was in
this.
both.
I mean, I think more iconic from 2 than 1. Rhonda asked, "Did the giraffe ever have that baby?"
No.
Not yet, but we have movie props. Let's go to the first one. Deckard's PKD, which stands for Philip K. Dick, who wrote the story "Do Android Dream of Electric Sheep," on which Blade Runner was based.
Mm-hmm.
So the PKD blaster. Do you have it?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe take the banner down. Thank you. That's the actual prop that Harrison Ford brandished in close-ups in the 1982 sci-fi classic Blade Runner. $270,000.
That's all.
Yeah, that's bad.
Okay? The Ed 209 from RoboCop. $80,000. This is the miniature, because there was a full-scale one
Yeah.
that actors could share the screen with. This was the one, I think there were 2 of them. This was one of 2. But this was the one that took the tumble down the stairs and was squealing like a pig
Okay. All right.
because it
Now,
got stuck.
it doesn't actually move by itself, too, though, does it?
No,
it's just a prop.
It articulates. It's fully articulating, though.
Okay.
It moves.
Yeah.
But it has to be posed, like stop motion, I think. Because that was pre-digital effects. The lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, Luke's lightsaber. Only $30,000.
I was kind of
That's
shocked.
yeah,
I was
that's
shocked that one was so
reasonable.
low. I was really expecting that. I mean, I'm sure if the actual lightsaber part came out, it'd be different. But
Well, yeah, no. If someone invented a lightsaber, I think it would be. It would be.
it probably wouldn't be on the market.
But yeah, that's. I'm not much in the movie prop business, but that's
Yeah, when I
reasonable.
was looking at these prices, $30,000 for a lightsaber from Star Wars.
See, now personally, I wouldn't spend any more than 28.
Oh, well. Tough deal.
The T-800 from Terminator 2, in this case, for $488,750. There were different models of these. There were models that were built to be sort of more durable, and then there were other ones that were built to be crushed and whatnot. So, yeah, $500,000.
It's terrifying, is what it is.
The Proton Pack from Ghostbusters. Again, this would be the hyper-detailed one used for close-ups, not one of the foam ones used for action scenes, or the stripped-down ones that were used for just general filming so the actors wouldn't have to carry 30 pounds on their back.
When we were looking at this before the show, this is the one John said he'd like to have.
This would be cool.
$169,900.
Yeah, little.
You
little
keep
pricey.
producing this show, John, and one day this could
One
be
day.
yours. The Trans-Lunar Space Shuttle from 2001 Space Odyssey, $344,000. Something tells me you're about ready to see Giraffe Cam.
No, not at
What-
the moment.
what's
Still
going on?
working
Why-
stuff.
what-
Just getting things set up. I got lots of buttons to push back here.
A phaser from Star Trek, one of only two built for close-ups. And yes, there are popsicle sticks involved in the construction of this phaser. There was only two of these. Somehow a collector was able to buy this one directly from Paramount years and years ago. $200,000 is what it's worth. And the Samaritan, the big BFG from Hellboy, the gun Ron Perlman used, $15,000. $15,000 or $150,000? We got
It said 15,000. It's 15,000. I think I just put the wrote that wrong, but that's just 15,000. That was the cheapest one that was on there actually. Cheaper than the lightsaber.
People are requesting the crawfish.
Oh, well. 1 second. I can get that.
Hello from Adrian. Rhonda likes the beard.
Oh, thank you, Rhonda.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and since our viewers wanted it,
Since we're talking about the riverfront, one of our photogs was out walking along the riverfront and found somebody out walking a crawfish, crawdad.
yeah, look at this. Now, Ken tells me he sees these on the riverfront all the time. I don't know how he got this shot.
On the lens, maybe?
Yeah, I had to pick him up and put him on there.
Wow.
It's laying on the wake, staring at the wall. Open up my window.
I'm just a crawdad, out for a walk. Oh, boy. And there you have it.
There you have it.
Whoop. There it is.
Now take a look at this. We got two eagles.
Okay, so is that the eaglet on the top and
Yes.
the mother on the bottom?
I wonder when the head starts turning white, how long that takes to happen.
It looks like there's some white feathers coming in. I don't know though.
What are they eating? What is that there?
All right, well, I'd lose the banner. Let's see. Some sort of carrion. Yeah, definitely looks like there's like some sort of rodent thing going on there. The
Good work,
eaglets.
eagles.
What about April, the giraffe?
Okay, so I got giraffe cam right there.
Oh, look at
Oh, look at looking right at us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hello, Andrew.
Wow. Got a couple of animals, a couple of eagles in a nest, a giraffe in a cage.
Isn't that something?
Wow, what a character.
Oliver hanging out back there.
Doesn't it look like April senses that we're watching her?
It kind of does. Someone must have told her.
She's looking directly into the camera.
All right, while we're looking at April, I'll go in reverse order of what we did today. Hollywood prop collecting, featuring Terminator, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, all the favorites. Intricate food art, a snake that looks like an emoji, a turtle that ate almost 1,000 coins, infants in boxes in Finland, National Pancake Day, the passing of the Waffle House founder, female pedestrian lights, in which I also shamelessly plugged going to YouTube and looking at my old story about pedestrian lights, plus-sized sportswear for women from Nike, the passing of George Michael, apparently natural causes. He died of heart and liver disease. The skier impaled by a branch, and the unbelievable video of a woman arrested, a daycare worker caught on surveillance pushing a 4-year-old down a flight of stairs.
We had a good show today.
That is a packed program. Do we have the video of the woman pushing the 4-year-old?
Now, I am looking at the comment section, and Katie Kasparachus says that our wow sounds like Owen Wilson. That's like the staple of, it's just what we do.
That was our first running joke when we debuted this extravaganza 5 months ago, 4 months ago. How long has it been?
Has it been that long?
Wow.
Wow.
We started out very low budget, and we're still very.
We're still.
You said that like we had gotten some.
I know. No.
So this was the video. This is
Okay,
in
watch.
Pennsylvania.
Look at that.
Just
I mean,
literally
come on.
pushes her down the stairs.
Two-hand shove.
And the kid is like, well, no.
Suffered just a minor knee injury, but I mean, this woman shouldn't be working with kids.
Oh my goodness. If you were that kid's dad, how would you stop yourself from shoving her back once you saw this video?
I guess a lawsuit, but still.
And you said they took her back to that daycare, right? That's what they made it sound like?
Well, the copy, it's not clear. We don't know if the child returned to that exact same daycare. Maybe there aren't a lot of options in that town. Maybe it's the only daycare.
You don't know
But
the situation.
we don't know the fine details of that. But I'll tell you this, if that was my kid, my daughter would never be back in that daycare ever. Ever, ever, ever. What do you think? That's why we have the comments. Live in a D coming up in about 16 minutes. What do you have saved for the 12:30? You know we do this at 12:30 now too.
What do we have saved? There was the Alec Baldwin
True.
announcement.
Yeah.
There was Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Had made some sort of statement about being able to zap the brain into remembering books from 60 years ago or something. So we'll look into what he had said about brain surgery or brain zapping. And we're going to keep an eye on what's going on ClickOn and what's happening at noon. And
David,
we'll
what's the
follow-
latest on ClickOn? What's the big story?
A lot will change over the next 3 hours.
We have the AP exclusive about Casey Anthony. Spoke to me about the case for the first time she's ever.
Breaking her silence. Casey Anthony, breaking her silence after the death of her daughter. She spoke to the Associated Press, and we have that for you. If you want to check that out, it's the top story on clickondetroit.com right now. I would wager to say we'll probably also have it at 12:30.
Yes.
Denise says, my kids wouldn't be at that daycare either. I have a child with special needs who goes to school online because of the bullying that he had at a regular school. Ronnie says, she looked right at the camera and went, I'm busted, dumb woman. Tammy says she'll be watching at 12:30. Denise says her comments on that woman pushing that child cannot be printed. My son years ago told me about his teacher grabbing his arms. I went in and waited and watched her. I walked in and leaned over her desk. I told her if he ever tells me of this again, I would beat her.
Just a crazy video.
Okay. Also, on a charitable note, Empty Bowls Detroit. I designed. I actually created artwork, if you will, on a bowl, a blank canvas bowl.
Okay.
And you can bid on that at emptybowlsdetroit.com.
Oh, cool. All right.
There's a Matthew Stafford bowl. There's a Mary Barra bowl. There's a Jason Carr bowl. There's like, I think about a dozen. And you can actually go there and bid if you want a bowl for your bacon.
Well, we'll take a look at those pictures. We'll get something set up for 12:30.
12:30, yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
So, somebody said your bowl is awesome. It's on my Facebook page too. I have a link. Jason Carr TV. Thank you, Tammy, for saying that. You know, I have a bowl at emptybowlsdetroit.com that you can bid on.
Do you have an empty bowl?
Oh, I have an empty bowl that I designed. I created artwork on it.
Yeah.
And you can bid on it, E-Engineering.
I'm gonna go buy it right now. What's the website again?
Empty Bowls Detroit. Yvonne says that she turned in an attendant for telling an old lady to shut up at a hospital. These things happen. There are people out in the world that do some stuff. Yeah, I'm reading the comments right now. Lock her up. Oh, Rhonda, first time to watch, loving it. Rhonda Hawbaker Hines.
Happy to hear you. Happy here.
Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda H.H. You know, our old friend, Rhonda Hawbaker Hines.
Yeah. Hawbaker Hines. Got it.
Forget it.
Glad to have you. Thank you for asking about my daughter. She's great. Thank you, Megan. Jacob, John, you're not going to be here at 12:30, are you?
I'll be helping out here and there.
By the
As
way,
much as
okay, so I told you about the Sign of the Times video at YouTube if you're inclined to learn about where we got the pedestrian guy. I also told you about the Empty Bowls Detroit. Tomorrow, Rochelle Riley.
That's tomorrow.
Rochelle Riley will be here tomorrow, just sitting in.
Oh, that's great. Well, we have a satellite interview with the stars of NBC's new show Trial and Error tomorrow as well. So we'll have
So
a
actually
full
we're-
packed. Well, that's at 12:30, not at the 9:15.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, Rochelle Riley's not going to be here at 9:15 tomorrow. She's going to be on the 12:30.
Right on.
Whatever we're going to end up calling that, I don't know.
We need to start coming up with some names too. We'll have to start branding it. So out there, give us your thoughts on what we should call this show. Not this show, the 12:30.
Half day, half wits.
That's not bad.
Live in the D coming up in 10 minutes on the TV. Everybody have a great day.
Stay classy, Detroit. Jason Carr Live was sponsored by the Mike Morris Law Firm, 855 Mike Wins.